We have an NHS mandate, so people can be clear about expectations for health. Interestingly, that mandate does not include social care. So it's an interesting one to debate. Will the mandate expand to include social care next time round?
Absolutely. And to go back to the original question as well, the major change that I'm seeing that is forcing innovation in the sector isn't really legislation. It is instead austerity, without a shadow of a doubt. And the fact that for the first time in my 11-year career, people are actually willing to take a punt on a blank piece of paper and actually say, what could this look like that is fundamentally different? And that's where we're seeing an awful lot of what we're doing coming from right now. Instead of saying, let's chase the white paper, let's chase the legislation, it is much more about what is an entirely different way of doing things. I mean, Surrey, who are our closest partners in the work that we do, they are strongly moving towards a social capital model of social care. And while that's always been built into the ethos of social care, like where in yourself and in your community can you find the assets to achieve your aspirations and maintain your health and care, now it is actually the primary line in the strategy in terms of how people can actually try to ensure that social care can continue, frankly, at any level. And I think that an awful lot of the technology on the market doesn't represent that mind shift and that huge transition to a new way of thinking and working. It's much more about very expensive case management. Well, if you're trying to reduce the amount of cases that you have that you're trying to manage by triaging out people so that their community can support them, where's the technology that supports that? And that's very much what we're starting to get into and building.
Could I just ask, I mean, there have been a lot of papers written by care organisations about developing social capital. Are there any that stand out from the Department of Health, Think Local Act Personal, Sky, any of those that you would recommend as a starting point for people thinking about developing social capital?
I think it depends who you are. I mean, a lot of people, I'm a very pragmatic thinker, so a lot of it doesn't really speak to me because it is founded in relatively abstract academic thinking and not a great deal of actually what does it mean and what's the thing that you can do tomorrow to make this happen. I think there's a lot of inspiration that can be taken from the social startup world. Actually, that because a lot of the things like our casserole project, like Mindings, like all sorts of things are very much rooted in people and in a new way of thinking and a way of bringing people together around networks and collaborations. That's actually where I would look to for interesting takes on social capital. Inevitably, otherwise, an awful lot of the time, it does veer back towards day centres and local advisory charities and all of those things that are great in the local community, but frankly also all need reinvention in and of themselves to be fit for modern purpose.